So I want to start it off and talk about Kanye West meeting with President Donald Trump. The media, of course, is skewing it extremely negatively, but I want to talk about what was said there and why I believe is personally a great thing. And it's something that everyone should really consider, because love and really connecting with people will get you way farther than hating and screaming. It's really just not an effective strategy. Even if you disagree with Trump or Kanye, it just doesn't work. It got Trump elected. I think all the negative media coverage got him there. I think it gave him more power and attention. Any press is good press. That's like the #1 PR rule. So what the news is doing and what the haters are doing just is not working. But Kanye, the first thing that I really like that he talked about that I know the media is not going to talk about, because the media, they're in like the second or third dimension. Kanye, myself, a lot of others, even a lot of liberals are in like a fourth, fifth dimension type stuff. So he was talking about time is a myth. He said, you can watch the full interview, but he said, listen, all we have is the present moment. He said, time is a myth. People look too much to the future and the past. I'm here now. We have to appreciate what we have. This is what I say all the time. It's actually the leading, like I said in my Kanye video, it's actually in a lot of liberal philosophies, such as like liberals love Eckhart Tolle and Taoism. I personally love Eckhart Tolle. I love Taoism. I love like Lao Tzu's Tao Te Ching. I love, Buddhist elements and stuff. So this is all Eastern philosophy, but also liberal philosophy as well. A lot of liberals like it. This is like the root, what Kanye understands, what for some reason the media and people who hate Trump don't understand. I don't care if you don't like Trump, but if you're living too far in the future, you're playing yourself. If you're living too far in the past, you're playing yourself. If you're seeing time as this construct, you're playing yourself. And that's one thing that Kanye said. It's like his, it's his woke spiritual moment that I hope even people that don't like Kanye heard. He's talking about the present moment, which is the root of so many spiritualities that people claim to love. And it changed my life. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Self-accountability, self-awareness, and living in the present moment and being grateful and leading with love. All these things that Kanye West talks about all the time, even if you don't like Trump or his politics. This changed my life, okay? This made Kanye West Kanye West. This makes every successful person successful. They don't cry about the past. They don't cry about the future. They don't cry about what they don't have. They look at what they do have and they make their life beautiful with the resources that they do have. It's what every successful person talks about, from Gary Vee to Tony Robbins. It's the core of every spirituality. So Kanye West talked about this. The news, I'm sure Fox News won't talk about it. I'm certainly sure CNN won't talk about it. But one of my favorite parts of this interview was him talking about time being a myth and the present moment being important. So I'm going to be probably one of the only journalists or news analysts, aka kid who sits on my couch and gets more views than other people, because I'm not such a negative, nasty person. But that's a big takeaway that you're not going to hear anywhere else. That's a great part of the interview. Watch it yourself. He also, what I want to talk about, he talked about police brutality. And hear me out, because I know conservatives don't want to hear this. Liberals don't ever want to listen to most of what I'm saying, but hear me out. So Kanye went in and did exactly what I do. Not to say that what I'm doing is so great, but really the philosophy of it really works. He went in there and he leveled with people. See, Kanye's like me. He might not agree with him all the time, but he likes Colin Kaepernick and he likes Trump, and he's going to make way more progress on both sides because he's so nice and chill. And what he said was, what I say all the time is, we do need to talk about corrupt police officers. We need to talk about that. So now, instead of crying on Twitter, and I'm not saying all police officers, there's a lot of good ones, but there's also a lot of bad ones, a lot of corrupt ones. Instead of crying on Twitter, making no progress, Kanye West is sitting in the White House, face to face with President Trump, talking about police brutality and police corruption. So who's more successful, the criers and complainers, or Kanye West, who's in the White House talking about this? This is really smart. So, but he said what I said. He said, we do need to talk about corrupt police officers, but we also need to talk about my own people killing my own people in extremely high numbers. Because if you look at the percentages, this is just statistics via FBI or anybody who keeps statistics, the amount of police killing, black Americans is extremely low on a big scale, maybe higher than it should be. I don't disagree with that. Not saying it's not real. I know no police can be corrupt, but compared to black people killing each other or white people killing each other, the percentage is extremely low. So if we're going to talk about police brutality and police corruption, as we should, as Colin Kaepernick should, and as left-wing people should, we also have to talk about killing each other. And we have to talk on a root level how we are expecting the elites and the police to do something that we can't even ourselves do. And guess what Donald Trump said? And this is what I've been saying for a year. He said, I'm totally open. He said, I'm open to that. And you could feel the authenticity there. He's not just saying it. Trump is a renegade. Trump is not a puppet. Trump is not another politician who's just giving you lip service and then going in to do the opposite. Trump is a real person. I'm telling you, his family, they have souls and spirits. I can feel it. I can sense it. So when Kanye says, hey, we got to talk about corrupt police, but we also have to talk about what's going on in Chicago and all over the world, Trump said, what's going on in Chicago is terrible. I don't agree with it. He said, of course, the Trump thing to say, I have a lot of good property there. I got a lot of good stuff there, so I don't want to see that happen in Chicago. It might not want to hear it, but it's true. But he said, I'm open to that. So now, instead of Colin Kaepernick screaming at him, and no disrespect to Colin Kaepernick, I've shed him in a positive light. I've shed him in a critique light. I've made a lot of Republicans and conservatives see elements of Kaepernick that are good as well. But Kanye, his approach, and this is why the media hates it, because they don't want you to be united. They don't want black people to be successful. I'm sorry, they just don't. They don't want people to be prosperous and safe from the police and from each other, all of us. So they don't want that. So they don't want you to know that this approach actually works. Kanye West showing love to the Kaepernick side, showing love to the Trump side, saying that both are semi-right and we have to talk about it. And Trump doesn't reject it, doesn't say you're wrong, doesn't say stand up for the anthem because you're throwing a lot of vitriol. He says you're right. I'm open to talking about that as long as we take care of the issues. And this is who President Trump really is. He's a loose person. He's a renegade. He's willing to work with you if you work with him. And this goes even for Trump, to be honest, when it comes to Kaepernick. I don't want to see Trump and Kaepernick fighting like little kids in a sandbox. I want to see Trump and Kaepernick sitting down at the table, giving each other a little bit here and there, and working on a solution that works for both sides. Because I could sit down with Kaepernick, and I guarantee you if I sat down with Kaepernick, me and him would agree on like 60, 70%. And then I would say, Kaepernick, what do you think about self-awareness, self-accountability? What do you think about the rates of murder and the rates of violence? What do you think about this? What do you think about 99% of lives that are being lost, the stuff that has to do without police? And I guarantee you, because of my approach and because of Kanye West's approach, Kaepernick, just like Trump, would be like, you know what? You're right. We'll talk about this, but we'll talk about this. And this is what Kaepernick needs. This is what Trump needs. This is what the world needs. I'm not saying Kanye West is perfect. I don't agree with everything he says or does. But Kanye West is bringing this energy, this spiritual energy, this loving energy to a very divisive political debate. And it's effective. I'm telling you, he's going to get more done for Black America. He's going to get more done for white, Latino, Asian America, Americans being Americans, than anybody hating, everybody crying, everybody complaining. It's beautiful for what he's doing, giving both sides their peace, but also speaking truth to power, getting it done. So my people who don't agree with me, I had a debate last night that was fiery, ended very well on my new podcast, Make America Debate Again. It's now live on Apple. It's live on Google Play, 2 episodes. I explained this, and we got to a point where we agreed. People listen. I'm being successful now. I'm not that special. I'm not that incredible or, whatever. I just know that people don't want to listen to somebody who's screaming at them and hating on their character and just yelling at them. No one wants to listen to that. Trump doesn't want to listen to it. Kaepernick doesn't want to listen to it. Kanye doesn't want to listen to it. You don't want to listen to it. Liberals don't want to listen to it. Conservatives don't want to listen to it. Nobody, you're not going to change anyone's mind by being so negative and nasty. And Kanye West is bringing that energy to the White House, to the world. And it's so important on multiple levels. So he's making progress for the Kaepernick left. He's making progress for the conservative right, the stuff that Kaepernick doesn't want to talk about. He's making progress for the spirituality. Going to the White House, to me, I'm sorry I'm excited. Maybe you don't agree, but for someone to sit in the White House, the President of the United States White House, and say to the President, time is a myth. Time is a construct, and we focus too much on the past and we focus too much on the future, not the present moment. It's a revolutionary day. To speak that type of knowledge and wisdom in the White House is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I also want to talk about Kanye. He cursed. He said the F word. He said, I love this guy. He loves Trump. He said, I love Hillary too. But he also said that he thought I'm with her campaign didn't make him feel good as a father playing catch with his son or something. I don't understand exactly what he's talking about there. But he said, this hat makes me feel like Superman. He said this a lot. So he loves the Make America Great Again hat. He feels like Superman with the cape with it on. All of this, regardless of if you're conservative or left-leaning, It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And someone said vote red. You know, you could vote whichever way you want, but this is why I had a whole debate last night on it. These are the vibes that are being brought, and you see if you bring it to Trump in the right way, I'm telling you, he's going to be that president who is going to do something for the black community. He's going to be that president who does something for the prison complex. He's already done it on a small scale with Kim Kardashian. He could do it on a bigger scale, but here's the thing. Here's my pitch to the left, and obviously the right listens, you know, and I sometimes go against the grain there. If you really want to make prison reform and you want to make drug reform and you want to help out people, you got to go the Kanye West route. But you have to really make sense, because when you scream, it's easy. And this goes for the right too, but to the left, it's easy to just scream about all the problems. That's easy. It's easy to point out the problems, but it's hard to see both sides and really put out a solution that makes sense. Because when you're screaming at countries and screaming at politicians, that's easy. You suck, you suck, you suck, you started this war, you did that. It's easy to do. But it's not productive. You really have to, okay, we got to do this about prison reform, but also we don't want to turn into a country that just has criminals and people running all over the streets, similar, to be honest, to many liberal cities, where they're so nice and naive that they actually make life really hard for people that start small businesses or people that work 9 to 5s or have families. So we need a balance. Yes, we need to have prison reform. Yes, we need to help out our communities, but we can't have this far left-wing ideology of like lawlessness and complete corruption and no self-awareness, no self-accountability, no sort of balance. Like, these people are victims, these people are oppressors, and there's nothing you can do to change my mind. That strategy doesn't work. We need to have a compromise, but we need to be realistic. Yes, we need to change this, but no, we can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We need to have some sort of law and order, or else we're going to turn out like Europe, and we have in many parts of the country already, where we are pandering and giving all our money and time and attention and victim mentality to one group of people who's not necessarily doing the great things on a statistic scale, and then we're weakening and blaming and hating on a whole group of people, which I consider Americans or Europeans, just people who are citizens of all races and religions and genders, who have to suffer because the left-wing ideology burdens the working class person and burdens the person who is trying to follow the rules, and it provides a support group and a PR team for people who do want to break the law. So we need a balance. We need to have this conversation, and Kanye West is doing all this. It's beautiful to see, and this is my analysis on it. It's probably going to be the most optimistic and fair one. All over the news, they're trying to say that Kanye shouldn't have said that because they called him all sorts of nasty names on CNN. They don't want us to come together. They don't want us to be united. The media does not want the black community or the white community or the Latino community or the American community. They don't want Americans to be Americans. They don't want you to love America, because when you're an American, there are no other labels. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, religion, race, and stuff. If you love this country, that's a powerful thing. And if you love the planet, that's a powerful thing. So they don't want us to feel this way. They don't want us to be like Kanye West. But what he's doing is very important, is very positive, and it's going to be big for the left wing and the right wing. And people really need to tune out of this fake news media, this very negative warmongering media. All they really want to do is start wars. The only thing that they'll agree with President Trump on is when he throws a bomb at Syria or he throws a bomb in the Middle East. Then all of a sudden they're saying he's such a great guy. If you guys haven't caught on by now, these people are not necessarily your friends. They're not telling you the truth, and that's just really how I feel at the core of my heart and soul. So, beautiful meeting. I really liked it.